Welcome back to Thriving in Love podcast. I'm your host, Sana Akhand, relationship expert, speaker, and writer, and I help couples come together to create thriving relationships that work uniquely for them. Today's episode, I actually want to talk about something that happens before you get to the stage of thriving, which is the healing stage. I know we all have talked about the healing journey. I know a lot of you may have even gone through a healing journey before getting into your healthy relationships. But what I want to get through today is the fact that a lot of my clients think that they have done so much inner work, whether it's therapy or journaling or really knowing and understanding their traumas. But what happens when you're in a relationship, whether it's a long-term relationship or platonic or what have you, the closer you get to someone, the more you realize that you have deeper wounds that haven't been healed. I know we're all aware of emotional baggage, our past, and things like that can be things that we take with us into future relationships. And a lot of us may think that, okay, we know what happened in the past, we're not going to make the same mistakes in the future, and you think that you're good and you can continue on. And it's true, you can. But what happens is you do hit this place in your life where you have a career that's just good enough, a relationship that's just good enough, and you start to crave a little more. Or on the opposite end, you feel physically and mentally completely exhausted and tired, and every single day you feel like you're burning out and you don't know why. So today I want to talk about why these feelings may come up and what they mean and what you can do to make sure that you turn into someone who feels light and bright and energetic and someone who really does enjoy waking up every day and doing the things that you love, from your careers to your love life, to your relationships, to your friendships, to just living, like truly enjoying life. So let's get into it. Today I want to get into the root of what trauma is. A lot of us think that trauma is the traumatic event that happened to us, when in reality, trauma is the energy that is stored within your body when you weren't able to fully feel what you truly wanted to feel in the moment the traumatic event happened to you. So the way that we get the trauma out of our body is through somatic healing practices or modalities. What that means is basically any way for you to be aware of when you do get triggered and be aware of why you were triggered, when this emotion came up for you the first time. That is step one of the process. Then you actually have to figure out where in your body is this feeling, this emotion, this tightness, like where is it coming from? And then you breathe into it, you validate your feelings, you allow yourself to basically teleport back to that time where that incident happened and create that safe space for this past version of you to fully feel what they wanted to or needed to in that moment. Don't bypass the emotion. Don't try to get them through it. Just sit there with them, cry it out, hug yourself, rock yourself, and truly try to feel what you needed to feel in that moment without judgment. Even if it's like anger, like scream, like put yourself in a safe space, like scream into a pillow or like punch a pillow, like really get your body to move through this emotion. Don't just like sit there and journal and do the things, like maybe dance it out, maybe like, move your body in a way that like really allows you to feel you're like in that emotion and you're just really truly feeling it. And I know another buzzword out in the community right now is feel your feelings. And you probably are a highly sensitive soul like me who knows, that you have emotions and you're not pushing them away. You do feel your feelings, or you think you do, where like you may cry, you may talk about how you feel, and you may actually bring up what you're feeling with your partner. But what I realized was that I wasn't going deeper. I wasn't understanding why are the things that my husband is doing, why are they triggering me, why are they bothering me? The proportion to my reaction did not match the reality of the situation. And that is when I knew that I needed to do deeper healing work and understand that there's a deeper reason of why I'm getting triggered by my husband not putting the trash bag back in the garbage after he empties it out. Little mundane things that like add up every single day to resentment and bitterness, but in reality, they're not really happening to us because of the situation. They're actually happening to us because it didn't just annoy us. It made us feel like we were betrayed, because every single time we've asked them to put the bag back into the trash can after you take out the trash, and it's not done, right? So like, yeah, I'm frustrated and I'm annoyed, but deeper than that, I'm actually feeling betrayal. I'm feeling unheard. I'm feeling unseen. I'm feeling undervalued. I'm feeling not like I'm respected. So now where are those emotions coming from? Where have I in the past felt like when I'm asking for something, my needs are not being met? And it happens a lot of times from our caretakers when we're growing up, right? So instead of in the moment being like, he just forgot to do this again, no big deal, you're still allowed to get upset, but the proportion to your reaction should match the reality of the situation. Whereas for me, I used to like blow up and get really, really angry and be like, you always do this, you never listen to me, and then bring up something that happened in the past to like prove that he never listens to me. And he was so lost. He's just like, whoa, okay, I'm sorry. Like, just feeling shitty about himself because I'm making him feel shitty about himself, because my reaction is based on a previous trigger. I was holding on to so much of that negativity of feeling unheard, unseen, undervalued, not respected, right? What I have to do in order to truly release all of these negative feelings of feeling like every single time I've felt unheard, unseen, undervalued, not respected, it wasn't just one time, right? So like every single time this trigger came up, I'm like, what the heck? Like, I already dealt with this. I already like did the healing work. I already sat with my inner child and tried to make her feel seen and heard and valued and loved. Now, why is this still coming up? It's going to come up every single time, but in a different version. And because you're going to go deeper and deeper into your healing to alchemize that negative energy and pull it out and release it from your body. And each time you go deeper and release more of this negativity, you're actually going to feel so much freer, and you're going to attract better opportunities for you in the world, in life, in your career, in your relationships. You're just going to have more inner peace in general, which is the root of thriving, right? You're getting out of survival mode. And that's the whole point of this podcast, is how do we get out of survival mode? How do we stop getting triggered? And how do we have totally proportionate reactions to situations that are in our reality, and we're not going into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn modes of autopilot, of survival mode, and actually thriving as healthy individuals. So another example of deeper work is when my husband and our intimacy started dwindling away for a little while. I didn't understand why our chemistry was being affected. I started to have flashbacks of like moments in my past of when men took advantage of my body, didn't listen to me when I said no. Each time that happened, I started to feel like annoyed every time my husband would touch me. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? Like, why am I doing this to my husband, the person that I like want more than anything in the world? Once I started journaling, I brought to awareness the moment that I got raped. And it was something that I thought I healed in therapy. I thought I got through it. But what happened was that energy was sitting in my sacral chakra for so long that it was blocking not only my libido, which happens in a sacral chakra, but also my creativity, which also is impacted by your sacral chakra. So when I started to realize that my intimacy issues with my husband were being affected by something that I didn't process fully, I realized that not only am I hurting our relationship, but I'm really hurting my success, my impact, my legacy, my sole purpose, which is your creativity. Like, the entire reason we're here on earth is to create whatever you want from your heart and soul to connect with another heart and soul. You really cannot be free until you work through every single one of these chakras and block whatever is there. So if you're feeling like you're not safe to express yourself, or like financial issues, like you're just feeling like you're on the hamster wheel and you can't get off, That's part of your root chakra. You're feeling insecure, you're feeling unstable. A way to fix that is to remind yourself that your core basic needs are being taken care of, your bills are being paid, hopefully, and you have a roof over your head, right? You have to count your blessings so that you get to a place of not getting triggered, and then you build on that. Like, okay, now how can I get resourceful to actually create abundance in my life financially? But you can't think about that step until first feeling safe, secure, stable. So like getting to that survival mode, then you can thrive. I guess I could quickly go through the 7 chakras, right? We have the root chakra, stable, stability, security, and then we have the sacral chakra, which is creativity and sexual energy. And then we have the solar plexus, which determines your self-worth and your confidence. And then you have your heart chakra, which is kindness, empathy, how deeply can we connect with others. And then you have your throat chakra, which is your truth. How comfortable are you expressing your truth and speaking your truth without fearing what people are going to say? Are they going to judge you or not? And then you have your third eye, your intuition. How comfortable are you with trusting your gut, listening to your intuition, trusting that you have all the answers that you need within you, and observing all the signs and synchronicities around you? And then you have your crown chakra. How connected are you to your higher power? How often do you listen to your higher power? How loyal are you to your soul purpose? Once I realized this is part of my healing journey, after I became aware of everything in my past, I realized that there was a whole nother step, which is to actually now do the shadow work, the actual work, to go back in time and release these blocks from within my soul, release that energy out so that I can feel light and creative and free and peaceful again. And the only way to do that is to not be annoyed by your emotions and not get distracted and not use your typical tools of distraction. Like for me, whenever I'm feeling anxious, I start scrolling on my phone and it like gives me that peace. Whenever I am depressed or upset that I'm not getting what I want, I usually eat processed foods. What I'm really working on now at this point in my journey is to be consciously aware of when I am reaching for these distractions and bring myself back to the present moment and remind myself that those are self-sabotaging behaviors because they're not doing anything for me. If anything, they are keeping me distracted from the actual work that I still need to do in order to feel more free in my soul. And we can't like spiritually bypass these things either, which I was doing, where I was just like, okay, I'm upset about this. It's not my reality anymore. I'm fine. Gaslighting my inner child, essentially, and not letting her feel what she really needed to feel and just being like, oh, you're fine now, you're safe now, we're good, blah, blah, thinking that that's what healing is, and realizing that the most important part of healing is validating our inner child, our inner teen, our inner self, and letting them process their emotions on their time and not forcing them and being like, well, we already dealt with this, why is this coming up again, and getting frustrated. You have to have so much self-compassion and self-acceptance on this journey, and that is what true self-love is. If you're just like constantly frustrated with yourself for having these emotions and these blocks and attracting the wrong people and making mistakes, you're just gonna stay in the same cycles over and over again. So if you truly want to break free and start thriving, then start accepting yourself fully and validating your feelings and your emotions and allowing yourself the time and space to process on your own timeline. And once you do that work, I swear to you, you connect so much more with your partner. Like it is an insane deeper connection because you understand yourself better. You're able to communicate yourself better with your partner, and they're able to understand you better and say, oh, okay, that makes sense. Now I understand why the trash bag situation is such a big deal. I actually want to make sure that you know that you are heard and you are understood and you are respected. So I'm going to do that. It's just natural, right? Like the more I heal my shit and share it openly, honestly, and vulnerably with my partner without expecting him to change, he changed. Like he grew and he really started to hear me and understand me because I started to hear me and understand me. Like this stuff is absolutely magical. I hope this resonated with you. I hope you understand how your past can sabotage your current relationships, your greatest love stories, because even if you have the most amazing, secure, loving partner, I did, and I almost sabotaged it because of my past wounds. This is why this work is so incredibly important to me. I almost missed out on the greatest love story of my life because I was too scared to look within and actually sit with my shadows. Now that I have, and now that I have the tools and resources to know exactly how to do that, I'm not scared of anything. I don't fear getting triggered. I don't fear any of my emotions, good or bad, because now I know that anytime I have like a negative emotion come up, I'm like, oh, interesting. Let's go do the work and find out where that's coming from. Anytime I feel like I'm judging someone online, I'm like, oh, interesting. Where am I not letting myself be more free? Anytime I see myself feeling like something that someone else has, I can't have, I'm like, okay, where is this block coming from? Where is this limitation coming from? Why can't I see someone else's success and say, okay, it's happened for them. That is proof and validation that it can happen for me. Where's my scarcity coming from? Where are my limiting beliefs coming from? Now it's become such a fun game for me to go through these blocks and obstacles so that I can clear more space within myself for all of the good that I have and that I want and that I desire without guilt and without shame and without fear. Like, it's truly incredible. So if any of this resonated with you and you're curious about the deeper healing work and the deeper shadow work, reach out to me, because this is my forte. This is what I do with my clients. I truly do get to the root cause of what is blocking them from connecting deeper with their partner. Sometimes you're so in it in the moment of the emotion that you're not able to see how this connects to a past part of you. And that's what I do. I'm an intuitive love coach, and I can be the mirror for your past wounds, and I will question it out of you so we can tackle those blocks and get you to be a free, thriving person who is in love with life and your partner. Of course, as always, please follow and rate and review the podcast. It means the world to me that you guys are here and you're listening and it's resonating with you. And let me know, email me, connect with me, and most importantly, keep thriving in love. See you next time.